Fedex Field, $250 million when it opened in 1997, and somehow it's only gotten worse with every upgrade since. From new video boards in 2011 to turf swaps and minor renovations over the next decade, the Commanders tried to modernize a sinking ship, but no matter what they patched, the stadium found new ways to fall apart, literally. In 2021, a sewage pipe burst over the lower stands, showering fans in brown water. Weeks later, a railing collapsed onto the tunnel as Jalen Hurts walked off the field. His open letter to the NFL never got a reply. The team replaced the rail, then the turf, then the signage, but it didn't matter. Fans still ranked Fedex Field dead last in the league. Every single year, even players hated it. Visiting teams routinely trashed the locker rooms. Washington fans, they stopped showing up altogether. And behind every disaster was one name, Dan Snyder, the owner who poured millions into hiding the problem, not fixing it. For years, he blamed the media, then the fans, then the plumbing. Turns out no amount of upgrades can save a stadium when the rot starts at the top. Levi Stadium opened in 2014 with a $1.3 billion price tag and a vision: bring football into the future. Located in Santa Clara, 45 minutes from San Francisco, it was supposed to be high-tech, energy-efficient, and fan-focused. Solar panels on the roof, Wi-Fi in every seat, even a green roof for sustainability. But in chasing innovation, they forgot one thing: comfort. The east side of the stadium gets hammered by direct sun for nearly the entire game. There's zero shade, no breeze, and temperatures regularly spike above 100 degrees. Fans roasted, literally. And when they weren't overheating, they were struggling with some of the worst sightlines in the NFL. Many lower bowl seats can't even see the full field. The team's former home, Candlestick Park, was grimy, but it had soul. Levi's has outlets. It feels like a corporate showroom disguised as a football venue. Tailgating is nearly impossible. Traffic is a nightmare.
Traffic is bad enough to sell my season tickets, and worst home opener I've ever experienced. They're talking about the post-game traffic jam that some fans say took them 75 minutes to go less than a block.
And the atmosphere? Dead. Fans blame CEO Jed York, the man who pushed the move south and never looked back. He wanted Silicon Valley prestige. Instead, he built a sauna with Wi-Fi. Call it what you want, but Levi's never fit the 49ers right. Sofi Stadium opened in 2020 with the biggest budget in NFL history, a jaw-dropping $5.5 billion. Built by Rams owner Stan Kroenke, this was supposed to be football's crown jewel, a hybrid indoor-outdoor arena with the world's largest video board, cutting-edge architecture, and luxury in every square foot. But behind the flex? Sweaty regret. The semi-open design traps heat like a greenhouse. Fans complain about stifling conditions during early season games, with some sections reaching unbearable temperatures. And while the roof looks stunning from above, it does nothing for airflow or sound. Acoustics, a mess. Crowd noise disappears into the rafters, and concerts routinely get slammed for muffled sound. Worse, many fans in the upper corners can't see the massive video board, which was kind of the whole point. And for Chargers home games, it barely feels like home. Half the crowd's in enemy jerseys, and the vibe is lukewarm at best. Kroenke may have built the NFL's most expensive stadium, but it still managed to feel incomplete. Bigger doesn't always mean better. Sometimes it just means hotter, quieter, and $5 billion too proud. And yes, the bathrooms still get lines around the block. Allegiant Stadium opened in 2020, priced at $1.9 billion and immediately branded the Death Star, a sleek black dome in the middle of the Desert Raiders owner. Mark Davis called it a new chapter. But for fans, it felt more like an identity crisis. The Raiders left behind the grime and grit of Oakland for corporate Vegas. Inside, the stadium is spotless, polished, and quiet. Too quiet. Players have complained about the lack of home field energy. Die-hard fans? Mostly priced out. What replaced them? Tourists in Derek Carr jerseys and blackjack wristbands. It's a stadium built for spectacle, not passion. Then there's the turf, a fancy grass tray system that rolls in and out of the dome. Problem is, it doesn't always work right. Patchy surfaces, durability issues. Not to mention, the stadium's real grass is for Raiders games only. Everyone else gets stuck on artificial turf. Mark Davis may have brought the Raiders to the Strip, but he left the chaos, soul, and volume behind in California. Allegiant looks like a spaceship, plays like a business seminar. It's hard to build a legacy in Vegas, especially when no one's loud enough to hear it. The Buffalo Bills are getting a brand new stadium, $1.54 billion, breaking ground in 2023, set to open in 2026. It's called the new Highmark, and ownership promised a fan-first, weather-tough home for Bills Mafia. But that promise came with one baffling omission: no dome. In one of the snowiest, coldest cities in the NFL, the stadium will be open air. Again, the decision triggered a wave of backlash. Fans questioned the logic. Media called it outdated before it even broke ground. And the real kicker, $850 million of the project is taxpayer funded, one of the largest public subsidies in NFL history. During a cost of living crisis that didn't go down well, add to that a generic bowl design, no retractable roof, and limited year-round use, and the criticism only grew louder. We're building 1990 in 2026, one fan tweeted. The renderings look fine. The context didn't. The man behind it all, Terry Pegula, the Bills' billionaire owner who refused to budge on the dome, then leaned on the public to fund it. Buffalo deserves better. He gave them concrete. And in the end, snow isn't the problem. The vision was. Soldier Field is the oldest stadium in the NFL. It got a major facelift in 2003 and has been falling apart ever since. Over the last decade, Chicago dumped money into small upgrades, new video boards, lighting systems, occasional turf replacements. In 2022, they even swapped in Bermuda grass to quiet critics. But none of it fixed the core problem. The field is a mess. Players trip, kickers slip. One Sunday it's mud, the next, it's concrete. Soldier Field has been consistently ranked the worst playing surface in the league by NFLPA surveys, a dangerous liability masquerading as history. And for fans, the seating is cramped, the concourses feel prehistoric, and good luck finding a bathroom that isn't backed up. The real story? The Bears want out. They've bought land in Arlington Heights. They're planning a domed stadium. Why? Because the city couldn't deliver. And that brings us to Lori Lightfoot, Chicago's former mayor, who clung to the past while the Bears looked to the future. She promised to keep the team downtown, but never made it worth staying. The turf didn't force the Bears to leave. The neglect did. Metlife Stadium opened in 2010 with a bland $1.6 billion footprint and zero personality. But the real disaster came later, the turf. For years, players blamed it for injuries. In 2020 alone, multiple 49ers tore ACLs on that surface in a single game. It became infamous. Nick Bosa, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley, all victims. The turf turned into a headline. In 2023, after relentless pressure from players and the NFLPA, the stadium finally replaced it with a newer synthetic blend, field turf core. It was supposed to be safer, but the response? Meh. Several players still went down with non-contact injuries. The core issue? Still artificial. Then there's the stadium experience itself. No roof, no soul, and it's in New Jersey, not New York. Giants and Jets, fans alike call it overpriced, overhyped, and underwhelming. Even the outside looks like an airport parking garage. At the center of it all, John Mara, co-owner of the Giants. He resisted change, defended the turf, and let two franchises stew in mediocrity on and off the field. MetLife isn't cursed, it's just badly managed, and somehow it's still the most expensive, boring stadium in America. Mercedes-Benz Stadium opened in 2017 with a $1.6 billion budget and a mission: redefine the fan experience. Falcons owner Arthur Blank promised a technological marvel, retractable roof, halo video board, fan-first pricing, and next-level aesthetics. But under all the glass and LED lights, something felt off. Let's start with the roof. It was designed to open like a camera shutter. Cool in theory, in practice, it barely works. It took 2 years just to fully operate without delays. Now, it's rarely open. So much for fresh air. Then there's the atmosphere, or lack of one. The stadium is massive, but strangely quiet. Sound doesn't bounce. The crowd noise fades. It's sleek, it's shiny, and it's soulless. Many fans still miss the Georgia Dome. Louder, grittier, and far more intimate. And for all the money spent, there are still complaints about upper deck views, Wi-Fi glitches, and awkward traffic bottlenecks. Arthur Blank built a legacy project, but what Atlanta got was a corporate spaceship with a retractable shrug. It's beautiful. It just doesn't feel like home. That's it. 8 stadiums, 8 misfires, and billions burned. Like and subscribe for more sports stadium content.